It's definitely cleaner with the Gleaner. Hey guys, one quick thing before we get started with this video. Today, this is November the 12th, yeah. We had a random person show up at the farm. It was a YouTube fan, and hey, I appreciate all you guys. I really enjoy interacting with fans and stuff. I enjoy reading comments. I enjoy interacting with people in public. But we can't have people showing up at the farm. One, it's not safe. There's a lot of moving parts on a farm. There's a lot of moving pieces of machinery on a farm. Two, there are people that live on our farms. Of course, Dad and I and my brother, we live on the farm, but there are other houses on the farm. So it's not just us that it's not just our lives you're walking into. And it's not a safe environment, and yeah, this is our our homes, so there is some privacy aspects going on there. Plus, it does interrupt our workflow for the day. So I would ask guys, please do not show up at the farm uninvited. To be honest, if stuff like that starts happening more frequently, I would probably have to either stop the YouTube channel or really throttle back the amount of content we're putting out, because this is, at the end of the day, a functioning grain farm, and that is our main goal. We thoroughly enjoy doing the YouTube videos, but at the end of the day, we have got to be a functioning, productive grain farm. Good morning. This morning, first thing, we're going to head over and finish up that chisel plowing. Got to do the end rows on what I did, and then I believe we're going to run some corn pretty early, finish up beans, and then I don't know what's happening after that. So let's see what happens. Anybody want to take bets on how many times plants change? There she is. I have to put a little bit of dinosaur bones in it this morning. Just a little. This being a demo tractor, I don't want to fill it up and then it leave. Do a little bit of housekeeping in here. This is the first tractor I've done any field work with the big singles. I really like how easy it is to get around. The tractor's a lot more narrow. But I kind of wonder if maybe the tractor wouldn't pull the plow better if we had duals. They definitely look cooler than duals though. The tractor looks beastie. This field down here, we're going to run a couple passes with this chisel plow. There's actually a couple tiles in there that go wrap around this whole bowl basically. I don't know if this is going to help, but we're going to run that plow over top of that tile line. Make no mistake about it, I am not a big fan of chisel plowing. I don't know that it works for us or will pay off in the long run for us, but we got it, and I like to think I'm always open-minded to try things with our farming practices to see if we are doing what makes the most sense, and to see if maybe this would make some of these wet spots in these fields dry out. I don't know, so we're going to try it. Rolling pretty hard. I know when I posted pictures of this thing, everyone said, well, it looks like you need a bigger plow, or that's way too much overkill. I have never been able to pull a chisel plow this size, or maybe a little bit bigger, with any tractor, and I've ran every brand of tractor without bringing it to its knees in certain spots of the field. I've chisel plowed with a 340 Magnum. I ran an inline ripper with an 8400 John Deere last year. I've ran a ripper with a Magnum. All those tractors have at one point almost stalled out from compaction in some of this heavy dirt. Now, I do have this plow buried as deep as it will go in the dirt. Now, like 2018, 2019, those years were so wet that this area, I think we still had crops in it. It didn't drown completely out, but it didn't produce the greatest. This year we had 75 to 85 bushel beans in this low area just because it held on to moisture longer. Part of me kind of wonders if chisel plowing, if we're going to have that happen, or if it's just all going to be, 8 inches below the surface where the plow tip stops. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, that's a wrap for now. Let's go to the combine. So Dad, he is running, I think he had a 15-acre cornfield he wanted to run this morning. So they are running that right now. Getting a pretty early start. It's only 9 o'clock. It's early for us as far as getting the combines rolling. While he's doing that, I'm going to move my combine down to the last bean field and we're gonna wrap up first crop beans. Now we still have 386 acres of double crops, but it's always a good feeling when we get done with the first crops. Moving out. Hopefully Dad don't get stuck. He's spinning. He's spinning. Don't want to lock her in, old man. Where we're going, it's just going to be my combine. Dad's staying here and going to run some corn. We have one field. I think he's just going to put it right on the truck while we're all down there. I'll need the cart where I'm at to cart grain out of the field. And we are just getting to the farm. This is actually the farm that Dad's 4020 was at when we found it. We've known these people forever. The owner of this place, he went to high school with Dad, and they always have a tractor here for, you know, just general maintenance on the farm. And I'll be darned if it wasn't Dad's first tractor. So if you missed that video, I would say I'd post a link to it, but I'll forget. It's in the videos. It was Dad's first tractor he ever bought, brand new. His first tractor ever was a 4020, and yeah, we have it back. I forgot I have a broken guard, so need to fix that real fast. Well, we kind of half fixed it. I don't have any guards. Turns out I've used them all. So I replaced the section. The section was gone. Dad went to get a guard. Looks like Dad is dropping that guard off. Right now it's cutting good. This field's not very big. It's like 13 acres. We're not even done opening it up, and we've got 5 of them done, so it won't take long. Well, not only did Dad bring the guard, he also brought sandwiches. You know, 2 of my favorite tractor snacks are beef jerky and Cheez-Its, the spicy ones. I think these ones might have gotten in a fight with my air seat and lost. Hopefully they still taste delicious. A little stale. They'll do. See if we can make it through the gap. We used to be able to make it through with our heads on. I hope we still can. Last of the first crop beans. I think we should just leave these. That way we can't say we're done with first crops yet. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say first crop, we plant what we call double crop beans. Those get planted end of June, right behind our winter wheat harvest. So while I say we're done with soybeans, we actually still have 380 some acres of double crop soybeans. We kind of figure those separate because there's kind of like a bonus. Sometimes they make decent yields, sometimes they don't make hardly anything. But usually you can fly through those pretty fast. Back through the gap, we finished. Play maneuver around the trees. Dad quit combining corn to come down and help us move. I think we're going to put this one up, and then we're all going to focus on corn for the rest of the day. We probably should go run double crops, but there's a couple fields of corn Dad wants to get out before this next batch of rain, because the ground that they are in is the kind of ground that you want to get out before it turns wet. Most of the double crops are in sandier soils, so they won't be too much of a problem. Moving out. So we're only going to be running Dad's combine tonight in corn, so we're parking this one. I delivered him to the combine. Now we got an new electric lines going in, and it's kind of got this farm a little bit messed up at the moment. We've got electrical mats everywhere, the compaction mats and all sorts of good stuff, so fun. Larry just got in with load number 1, and guess what? I promptly plugged the drag. Perfect. Awesome. Wonderful. And for those of you wondering, the last time we did this, yes, there's supposed to be a safety where this doesn't happen, but it's not wired up yet. So when this happens, the only way to really get it unplugged, pull this cover off, vacuum what you can out, tighten your belts up, and it'll eventually go. I think we'll get it here pretty soon. Not as bad as plugged as the first time. The first time we plugged the drag and the pit. The pit, it still runs fine. The drag's the only thing that plugged, and it didn't smoke the belts. It just tripped the breaker. Good news is we're putting it back together. Already got fixed. It's like a pit stop. But man, that's pretty fired up for a minute. 100% my fault. I didn't turn the leg on and turn everything else on. Just makes you feel stupid. Drives you crazy. Well, folks, we got a real surprise, a real treat tonight. Look at BJ. He is cleaning his windows. It's probably good. he's gonna want to be able to see really well from when we run corn with that gleaner. See that? Eh? There's the corn head. Just got dinner and a ride. Took a little while to get the gleaner, switched over to corn and everything figured out, but got it ready to go. I'm gonna take this truck down to the field. I think they're gonna meet me down there and run some corn. Bye, Squishy. All right, just made the first pass. We're going to get out and check, see if we're leaving anything, see if we're grinding or anything like that. Sampling the tank looks pretty good. Full disclosure, I don't know what I'm doing, setting one of these in corn. So, see what we're doing, see what kind of job we're doing. There's a whole cob, but I doubt that went through the combine.
Yeah, just say,
there's
not
just
getting that much loss. Can't see a few splits coming out here, so say maybe we'll just slow the rotor down in here.
Okay, we're making some adjustments here, trying to clean up just a little bit better. And then we're gonna go a few more feet, get out, try again. Hop out and check again. Ideally, we would have done this in the daylight, but there's a storm moving in, and who knows how long this combine is gonna be here. This is a demo unit, so it does need to keep moving. So that's kind of why we're, doing this in the dark. Okay, I think we got her set pretty good. The AGCO guys are leaving, so Dad's hopping in with me.
Will that matter here around? It will.
I don't think it will. I think the platforms on these stick out a little further than ours, don't they? For the offset.
They got the,
Look. Looks like our grain sample's pretty clean. One thing we really like about the Gleaner over our Claas it's probably going to be pretty hard to beat Claas when it comes to combine capacity, but they're so aggressive. Ours grind corn pretty bad. I mean, we've played with them, and no matter what we do, they seem to grind corn a little bit, whereas this seems like it's very easy on the crop. Don't you miss running an 8-row?
there's something missing in this thing. 4 rows. Yeah, well, a little.
Yeah. So this is an 8-row. I'm sure that's kind of what everyone's wondering is why is this only an 8-row. This was pretty last minute. We didn't know we were going to get run corn in this till just a couple days ago, and unfortunately an 8-row was all they could find. They did have a 12-row, but I'm pretty sure it either got sold or something came up and they could not get that head here. It would have been nice to compare a 12-row. We would have had an apples to apples comparison, but we do run my combine with an 8-row sometimes, and Dad ran an 8-row on a combine for 20 years, so we do kind of know what to expect out of an 8-row. So far this one's doing pretty well. It's starting to get a little late. There's not a lot of dew on, so the fodder's still going in pretty well. But yeah, it would have been nice to run 12-row, but we're just happy we're able to run something. I don't think they're trying to hide anything, because like I said, we did have a 12-row coming at first and it didn't materialize, but we're just happy to get to run corn with it. But this was planned with the Fendt momentum, so the 8-row matches the 16-row that the momentum was, so it worked out. Actually, this was replanted, never mind. So Dad's cruising along 5 miles an hour. How much power are you running?
68, 70%.
68, 70% power load. Just me now. Dad said he is going to bed. He is tired, so just me now. We're going to load the trucks, and then that's probably going to be it for tonight, unfortunately. So far, the combine's doing pretty well. The corn head, I've had a little bit of issues with it. Sometimes the stripper plates will plug up. I don't know if it's just maybe the fodder's getting a little tough. And also, when I engage the row feelers, well, right now, wouldn't you know, they're going to steer good, but they have been not steering the greatest. See, like right there, I'd about bet we have a stripper plate that's plugged. Yeah, there we go. See that stripper plate right there? You see that chaff in it? That should not be there, so we're going to run that plate in and out and see if we can't get it to clear. See, our stripper plates, do you see that plate in between those two chains moving? Right there. That's the stripper plate or deck plates. That spacing, you want to keep it as tight as you can and still feed so you don't let any corn fall through there, which is what we're trying to do right now. Over there we have a gauge for how open and closed we are. Let's see if that clears out after we open all the way up. Yep, cleared right out. So it's easy to fix, just not used to doing that with our Capella head. Don't just love a good pass of shame. This is because we're combining a field that's planned with a 24 row with an 8 row head, so sometimes this will happen, especially with a replant. There's just rows going everywhere in this field. We might corn our cab or cab our corn. We're full, but we're not stopping. Just listen for the tingle. We're going to attempt to do a yield monitor calibration. Someone told me over the phone it sounded pretty easy to do. Yeah, you just go here and hit start. That's pretty simple. I've actually been very surprised at how easy this interface is to get used to. It's pretty straightforward actually. I was pleasantly surprised. We never calibrated the head till after the AGCO guys left because I'm real smart like that. And over the phone, simple. Just hit start or go to the right menu and hit start and it does everything by itself. So that was pretty easy and straightforward. So Dad just called. He said that it's supposed to rain in like 20 minutes. So I'm gonna try to finish this truckload out real fast. Well, those are raindrops right there actually. Apparently this rain's a little early. Well, it is most definitely raining. Well, crap. Hopefully this rain doesn't last long and maybe we can get a few more acres of this thing tomorrow. But I really don't know what the schedule of this combine is. For all I know, it could be leaving before we are able to get back in the fields. So that stinks, but like I said, I'm just happy we got the opportunity to run it. We didn't get to run it a whole lot. I think we only did like 15 acres of corn with it, but we at least, you know, kind of got a little bit of a feel for it, and it did okay. I mean, once we got it set and dialed in, it's not losing any more out the back than our Lexions. I mean, we're less than a bushel an acre loss, which I feel is pretty good. I'm happy with that. We're able to push the combine, you know, 5.5, 6 miles an hour with an 8 row. I don't really like going any faster than 5, to be honest with you. I prefer to run about 4.5 miles an hour just because you can see what's going into the machine a lot easier, and you know, stuff starts happening when you start going faster, in my opinion. So performance-wise, I was pretty happy with it. This corn's not super wet. We're like 19%. And the corn's not super good either. There's a lot of replant on wet or very dry ground. I'm only making this field like 160, 170. So it's not real powerful corn, but overall, I've not been disappointed. That light is actually programmed to remain on for like 5 minutes while we escape the combine. Well guys, I guess that's gonna be it for this one. Unfortunately, we're cut short due to weather, but hey, we got some bonus Gleaner footage, so all in all, not a bad day. But no matter what happens, whether we get to run this or not, before it leaves, once I find out it's leaving, Dad and I are going to do a review, a walk around on it, and our thoughts on it before it leaves the farm. So be sure to look out for that. I've got a lot of questions in my emails and in my DMs asking what we think of it, so I figure we'll go over that before it leaves. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to thumbs up the video if you like the content. Leave us a comment. Dad and I, we read them all every morning, so be sure to leave us a comment, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Figures by the time we get everything shut down, it would quit raining.